Today's DFB video is actually a secret doorway into our rarely trotted out trove of Disney World hidden gems. Welcome to DFB's exclusive club of the best parts of Disney World that you won't find on TripAdvisor. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Now, when I'm planning trips for somewhere I've never been, or even somewhere I've been to before, but I'm looking for new things to do during my next visit, I'll sometimes go scroll the internet for hours on end and come up with the exact same 5 to 10 recommendations that I've already seen over and over and over again. But that is not today's video. Today we're recommending the Disney World activities and purchases and experiences that have gone under the radar for too long, lost in the midst of more familiar and more advertised Disney stuff. So if you were hoping for a unique Disney World vacation that really goes against the grain, this is the best place to start. We're going to start with one of the favorite new finds for us at Disney Food Blog. There's a brand new happy hour in Disney Springs, and it just might be our favorite one yet. Over at Summer House on the Lake, there's a martini hour that takes place Monday to Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. at the bar area. During this time, you can choose from 3 different martinis, all for $10, the classic, an espresso martini, and a Finn Collins. But don't let the name martini hour fool you. There are other discounted drinks and unique food items you can get from this special menu too. If you're not into martinis, that's cool. There's also a great deal on red, white, and rosé wines, as well as a rotating beer discount. And don't forget, this is the place that actually has a rosé wine cart. And as far as the food on this menu is concerned, you've got options like tostadas and a prime cheeseburger and a lobby cut tavern style pizza, which is really, really good. But our favorite thing to grab off this menu are the bottomless truffle fries for $10. These are refillable for up to 4 people. They're also served with an aioli sauce, and come on, everything's automatically better with an aioli. Anyway, this is brand new. We found it. We love it. And we're sharing it far and wide because hopefully in like 2 years, this will become one of those things that everybody talks about on TripAdvisor, but they're not talking about it yet. So you can still sneak in there and say, I knew about it when. A great addition to a hidden gem video is a legit hidden gem. If you know anything about Trader Sam's Grog Grotto over at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort, then you know it's a popular yet smallish bar filled with interactive elements, all triggered by the specialty cocktails that you and other guests can order throughout the evening. And a couple of other things. If you happen to find the sinking stool, yeah, you might want to sit somewhere else. And if you didn't know any of that already, now you do. Trader Sam's opens at 3 p.m. daily, but you'll want to arrive as early as 2 or 2:30 to get your name on the wait list. Pronto. Like I said, popular spot, itty bitty bar space. But Trader Sam's Grog Grotto isn't the hidden gem I want to talk about. It's not that hidden anymore. People talk about it all the time. What I actually want to talk about is the real live hidden gem that you could possibly get during your next Grog Grotto visit, if you're lucky. If you order the Polynesian Pearl, this is a drink made with rum chata cream liqueur, Grand Marnier, and cinnamon with tropical juices. The pearl of your drink will be retrieved out of this giant oyster shell behind the bar, and that's already pretty cool. Most pearls come in that traditional shiny white color. However, on very special occasions, the oyster revealed from the shell comes out as this shiny black beauty. Black pearl distributions are extremely rare and always randomized, so you can't request one. You just have to be lucky enough to receive one. The DFB team and I have been to Grog Grotto several times over, but we've really only ever gotten the black pearl honor bestowed upon us twice, so it's a real special moment when it happens. But even if you don't get a black pearl, this drink is still fun to order and really tasty too, and you get to take your little pearl home with you. So I love a parade, especially a parade that happens every once in a blue moon. Those are the parades that feel extra special. Let's take a look at some of the rare parades and cavalcades you might be able to see in Magic Kingdom and brag to your friends about seeing. Let's start with one that's actually already happened this year, the Super Bowl parade. This parade happened not too terribly long ago, and it happens once every year either in Disneyland or in Magic Kingdom. It kind of depends on where the Super Bowl is. After the Super Bowl, and after we learn which team has dominated the rest of the competition, a Super Bowl parade featuring some of the winning teammates takes place inside the park, giving Disney and all visiting football fans the chance to celebrate a victory well deserved. Well, no Buffalo Bills on the float this time, But next year, guys, next year, right? It's going to happen for us someday, Josh Allen. Anyway, usually it starts around 2:30 p.m. So if you want to see your favorite player, your MVP on the Super Bowl parade float with Mickey Mouse himself, you'll want to go Monday after the Super Bowl and be there at 2:30. The next one is one of my absolute favorites. This is the Mardi Gras Golf Cart Parade. It's become a tradition in recent years for Disney's Port Orleans French Quarter to host a parade and party for Mardi Gras on Fat Tuesday. During the celebration, you'll get to see a live band, Princess Tiana in a horse-drawn carriage, maybe, she was there last year, and several golf carts gussied up by guests to represent those big and bold Mardi Gras themes. And the best part is that anyone can come over to check out all the hullabaloo. Plus, everyone can vote for their favorite parade floats each year by using a scannable QR code that'll be posted around the resort. It's so fun, y'all. You gotta go check it out. Back to the Magic Kingdom for the Easter Parade. I love this one too. This is so classically like 80s, I don't know, it's phenomenal. Each Easter, Disney World hosts this Easter parade in Magic Kingdom, and the parade is filled with lots of color and fun springtime characters and really rare characters like the very official Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny. And there are other extremely rare Disney characters that very few people even know who they are, but it's such a joy to see them in this parade. Usually the Easter parade happens 2 days out of the year, once on Saturday and once on Sunday during Easter weekend. Now this one happens a lot more often than you would think, or maybe that you would want, but it's fun to see at least once. It's the Rainy Day Cavalcade, and if it's way too rainy to send out the usual Festival of Fantasy floats around Magic Kingdom, Disney will default to their plan B and bring out the Rainy Day Cavalcade instead. It's pretty cute, honestly. Cast members wear bright yellow rain gear, and featured characters wave at the guests from the safety and comfort of covered double-decker vehicles or other covered cars that Magic Kingdom has. And you might even see a pirate coming by mopping the streets behind everyone. It's not the ideal parade situation if you were really looking forward to seeing Festival of Fantasy, but it's a unique experience that still gives you the chance to wave at your favorite characters while you stand under your own umbrella. Ooh, we've made it to Fort Wilderness, the golf cart extravaganzas. So Fort Wilderness Resort doesn't just have one golf cart parade, it has multiple. You're going to find a line of decked out golf carts parading around this resort during the 4th of July, around Halloween, around halfway to Halloween, and near the Christmas season too. If you're wondering how to get involved in the next Fort Wilderness Golf Cart Parade, then first things first, you'll need to be staying at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. Then about a week before the parade starts, visit the Bike Barn to get on the official lineup and receive your order number. If you're just wanting to spectate this event, well, you're also going to need to be a Fort Wilderness guest. So if you don't have a resort reservation, you won't be able to come over to watch. And if you do have a cabin or campground reservation, awesome. The parade is free for you to spectate. That means watch. It's a weird word. I don't know why Bria's using it. I'll have to ask her and I'll let you know. Starting at the hitching area right by the front entrance and following the longer, straighter stretch of road through the meadow section of the resort grounds. Rare and unique and one-of-a-kind events happen in Disney World more often than you think. And if you want to be part of the next exclusive event that Disney World's hosting, go ahead and scan the QR code you see on the screen now. Or if you're watching from your phone, head to disneyfoodblog.com/WDW calendar. And you can pick up our free guide that covers all the different events and holidays that Disney World celebrates each month. This guide will also share with you extended closure updates and weather patterns that you need to be aware of before you go as well. Another one of my favorite things to talk about, but no one on TripAdvisor talks about it usually, is customizable souvenirs no one talks about. What better way to guarantee a Disney souvenir that nobody else has than by getting one that you personally crafted to make it uniquely yours? There are some customizable souvenirs we talk about once in a while, like ornament personalization at the Disney Christmas shops, for instance, which literally is still one of my favorite ways to spend money on Disney property. However, if you're looking for a customizable Disney World souvenir experience that maybe won't pop up on the first page of your Google search, we've got you covered. Navi bracelets and necklaces at Wind Traders. Now, when I first think about customizable experiences inside the Wind Traders gift shop at Animal Kingdom, I and everybody else usually defaults to that really pricey Avatar like Barbie figure experience, which is cool because you get to purchase an Avatar figurine with features modeled after your appearance. However, there's a much more affordable customizable souvenir inside Wind Traders, which lets you string your own Navi bracelet or necklace for around $20. You can choose from feathers and crystals and colorful beads of all different sizes to string on your new Navi jewelry. While each necklace or bracelet cord comes with 8 beads and one statement statement piece, feather, or crystal. Additional pieces can be purchased separately. Disney Springs has a buffet of customizable souvenirs. You've got customizable Lego minifigs at the Lego store, which we've talked to you about a ton. You've got personalized Coca-Cola cans at the Coca-Cola store. You got choose your own decapitated character heads for a headband at the Disney Ever After store. Yeah, they kind of freak Bria and me out, but I know a lot of people really, really like them. They sell really well. But one of the customizable experiences that rarely comes up in Disney conversations is how you can design t-shirts and tote bags of your very own over at Uniqlo. To make this happen, first you select what photo you'd like to use. Over at the UT Me station, you can upload a photo of your own to print, or you can choose from the Disney, Marvel, or artist designs already available. You can't print a commercially owned photo onto your own product though, just something to keep in mind. Now, after you pick up your image, you'll choose a shape, fun filter, and add any extra text or other effects to spruce up the design. Once you're happy with what you've created on the screen, select the purchase option so that one of the Uniqlo team members can start transferring your image to their system to print on a tee or tote, whatever you choose. You got those Mickey and Minnie ears at the Christmas shops too. There are a handful of locations around Disney World where you can get your ears embroidered like Fantasy Fair at Magic Kingdom, attached to Mickey's Fill Our Magic, and Disney's Wonderful World of Memories at Disney Springs. But you know how I was talking about personalized ornaments earlier? The ones you can get customized at the Disney Christmas shops? Those aren't the only souvenirs you can get personalized at these holly jolly places. Select mini ears and ornaments can also be customized with fancy schmancy paint pen writing, including your name, your dates, or other fun and festive designs at locations like Ye Olde Christmas Shop in Magic Kingdom and Disney's Days of Christmas in Disney Springs. These customizable options have price points that depend on what kind of design or text you land on, but it's usually incredibly affordable. Designs start at $5 each, but there are also a few limited complimentary design options that you can add for an extra flourish, which won't cost you anything extra. And you've also got a lot of different shiny ink colors to choose from too. All right, fact. Every single Disney World hotel has free campfires that you can gather around every evening, weather depending, to roast marshmallows for free or to just bask in the glow of the flames. But in our personal opinion, some of these campfire offerings are more impressive at certain resorts versus others. So might be worth a little extra trip to one of these hotels on one of your Disney World evenings if you want the best campfire experience. And yes, you can go to any of these, whether you're staying there or not. First, Animal Kingdom Lodge. Well, most of Disney's hotel campfires will light the flame, give you some marshmallows, and call it good. Animal Kingdom Lodge takes their campfires one step further by also having a cast member stationed nearby who can tell you all about the impressive history behind the African culture reflected in the resort, along with fun facts about the surrounding wildlife living at the resort's personal backyard savanna. Next is Fort Wilderness. The coolest hotel campfire of them all continues to happen at Fort Wilderness. The campfires here have a bonus cowboy sing-along and big old chipmunk hugs from your pals Chip and Dale, happening nightly starting around 7 p.m. Then, as you roast a marshmallow over the open fire, you can start settling in for the evening to watch an outdoor movie. There's truly nothing like the great outdoors to ease your soul, especially when you've just had a really busy Disney day. And Wilderness Lodge. Similar to Fort Wilderness, the campfires at Wilderness Lodge also often have some sort of evening sing-along as well as cast member-led stories about the Wild Wild West, but no Chip and Dale here, folks. Sorry. Instead, you'll get to roast marshmallows around a stone fire pit, and depending on what time you get here, you might also get a great view of the electrical water pageant that happens each night. Maybe some fireworks views too. So before you go and dismiss the food court offerings located around the hotels wherever they're available, I must say some of the food courts have quite the interesting food offerings that you're not going to want to bypass, even if the word food court reminds you of your junior high days when you lived off mediocre mall meals after school. In fact, if you pick up our Disney World Guide to Walt Disney World Dining, which you can get over at dfbstore.com, we've got several of our favorite food court items highlighted for you on each food court restaurant page, so you know what we recommend prioritizing before you go. But I don't want to leave you hanging. Here are some of those highlights straight out of the guide itself. At Sassagoula Floatworks and Food Factory over at Disney's Port Orleans French Quarter, my personal favorite thing to order is the jambalaya, which really immerses you in the whole Mardi Gras, New Orleans vibes of the resort all the more. The jambalaya is made with chicken, andouille sausage, and vegetables all cooked together in a rich, spicy sauce with that wet rice, my favorite thing. You can also find this jambalaya at French Quarter's neighboring resort, Port Orleans Riverside, in the Riverside Mill food court. It comes with a little square of cornbread, and I absolutely love it. I have been known to go to these resorts just to get this jambalaya. Not gonna lie, it's one of my favorites. Recently, El Mercado de Coronado at Coronado Springs expanded their food court offerings, adding a little ramen bar to the mix. But we've also swung by this place multiple times before to pick up those King Knot pretzels, which are massive, ginormous, like the size of two of your heads, not just the size of your head. Pretzels that either come topped with pepperoni, like a pretzel pizza hybrid, or cinnamon sugar with cream cheese icing and chocolate sauce on the side, and a bunch of dipping sauces, which I love. Now, the food courts at the All-Star Resorts, music, movies, and sports might have similar, if not identical, offerings. However, I'd recommend paying those bakery cases a visit just to see what seasonal cupcakes or sweet treats are available for you. Treats are always switching up here depending on the time of year. And don't be sleeping on those breakfast offerings either. The loaded tacho bowls featured at several of the Disney Resort food courts have become our go-to morning meal. These bowls come with potato barrels, those are tater tots, topped with scrambled eggs, cheddar, sausage gravy, and bacon. And speaking of value resort food courts, the Landscape of Flavors food court at Art of Animation might not be as adventurous with its food offerings as it used to be back when it opened in 2012, but the Mongolian beef here is still a solid option for those who want to break away from a food court typical lineup of pizza and burgers. Speaking of burgers though, Landscape of Flavors also has this unique land and sea burger, which it's had forever, which is your average beef burger topped with a zesty shrimp cake with arugula and tomato, dill pickle, and remoulade sauce. Not such a typical burger now, right? And if you've been watching DFB for a while now, then you know our must-try option from Everything Pop Food Court over at Pop Century Resort has been our must-try for years and years and years now. It's the tie-dye cheesecake. Remember? Definitely the prettiest option we've listed off today, and the fluffy, creamy, velvety flavor of this one definitely makes the cake all the more enticing to try. Now, if you've been to Pop before and you've had this cheesecake, you probably had it as a little circle of cheesecake. Well, they've brought the actual pie-shaped slices back, and I love it. I'm so happy that we're back to what the original cheesecake was like back when Pop Century opened. I can remember staying here in 2005 and getting this cheesecake and just absolutely loving it. Now, heads up, you might not find this classic snack listed on the online menu, so there's a good chance you'll have to hunt it down or ask a cast member where you can find it, but it's usually in the refrigerated section over there at Everything Pop. Pointing out food, hidden gems, and highlights across the Disney World menus is one of my favorite DFB pastimes, and you can tell that's true because our DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining has updated menu highlights for every single Disney restaurant on property every time this book gets updated, which is several times a year. Yep, we're talking the Disney resorts, the parks, the Disney Springs dining experiences, all of them. So if you want to check out our top Disney World restaurant recommendations, as well as learn a lot of other cool facts and tips about each of the restaurants before you start planning your dining itineraries, hit up dfbstore.com right after this. And don't forget to type in code YouTube before you check out so you get an extra discount on your purchase. Oh, we've made it to my favorite part of this video. I'm glad you're still here with us. We've got to the best dipping sauces. I am a super proud sauce fiend. If there's a sauce accompaniment to be had, you better believe I'm pairing it with something for a little zip or twang or other onomatopoeia word. And because I am such a dipping sauce fan, I can now boldly proclaim the best dipping sauces on Disney World property. 1. Superior sauce. Number 1, the steak sauce flight at Steakhouse 71. So dinner is the only time you can order off the full steakhouse cut menu at Steakhouse 71 in the Contemporary Resort. And with each steak, you can choose one sauce to go on the side. But if you want to make your steak dinner even better and a little bit more experimental, for an extra $6, can you believe it? $6. You can add a whole flight of sauces to your entree. This includes béarnaise, a poivre, wild mushroom, whipped horseradish cream, chimichurri, and the red wine signature sauce. By the way, the wine tends to be the DFB team's favorite of the bunch since it's got a good blend of tanginess and sweetness. Superior sauce number 2, deluxe burger. If I'm talking about deluxe burger in Disney Springs, I'm more than likely talking about the shiny 6 sauce dispensers, which might actually be my favorite part about this place. The fries here, they're good. The fries here, when accompanied with chipotle mayo, garlic ranch, truffle aioli, barbecue, 1921, and buffalo ranch, way better. See? There's that aioli again. Everything's naturally better with an aioli. I feel so strongly about this. That's what my next book is going to be about. Not really. Maybe. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. Superior sauce number 3 is at Chicken Guy. We're staying in Disney Springs, and you probably already know my beef with the Chicken Guy sauces if you're a longtime fan of this channel. And if you're new here, well, hi, glad you could make it. Tell me about yourself in the comments so we can get to know you better. And by the way, I have beef with the Chicken Guy in Disney Springs because they used to have a selection of 22 different sauces. See, they could have been at the top of this sauce list, but they've condensed their sauce variety to a mere 10. The remaining 10 are still good sauces worth talking about. One of my favorites is on this list. You've got Chipotle Ranch, Buttermilk Ranch, Garlic Parmesan, Bourbon Brown Sugar Barbecue, Donkey Sauce, Buffalo, that's my favorite, Honey Mustard, Sweet and Sour, Nashville Hot Honey, and a special sauce. It's basically a combo of mayo, ketchup, and mustard, and pickle juice, and special seasonings and spices. And that's straight from Guy Fieri's Flavor Town, because this is Guy Fieri's restaurant. Now, your chicken tenders come with 2 sauces, but if you want to try more, each additional sauce is only 50 cents extra. All right, superior sauce number 4, Regal Eagle Smokehouse. Can't decide which American-made barbecue sauce is the greatest? Why not try a variety over at Regal Eagle Smokehouse in Epcot? There are self-service dispensers at this quick service too. I love a self-service dispenser, giving you the freedom to taste what you want and go back for more if you feel so inclined. These sauces include the Blue Ribbon Brisket sauce. This is a savory spice sauce, and it's my favorite because it tastes like the barbecue sauce my dad used to make. The Sizzlin' Pit Dry Rub Coalition, a classic smokehouse sauce. Old Glory Mustard Guild. This is a sweet mustard sauce. And Blue Ridge Vinegar League, a vinegar-based sauce. Oh, and ketchup. That one's popular too. And we made it to superior sauce number 5, the bread service at Sanaa. Over at Animal Kingdom Lodge's Kidani Village, Sanaa impresses us every time and time again, with their iconic Indian-style bread service. This is served with 9 dipping accompaniments, 9, my friends, including the cucumber raita, roasted red pepper hummus, mango chutney, tomato date jam, tamarind chutney, coriander chutney, garlic pickle, red chili sambal, and spicy jalapeno lime pickle. I know, I just word spewed a lot of accompaniments at you right there, but I think if I had to pick one favorite out of the 9, I'd go with the red chili sambal because I like a bit of heat, but this one's not so spicy. It's overpowering and there's still flavor to it. Tossing coins into Cinderella's wishing well and making a secret wish in Magic Kingdom might make you feel like your wish is covered and well on its way to coming true. But if you just want to cover your bases here, maybe writing down your dreams for a certain blue fairy to read might also be something worth doing, for insurance sake. On the first floor of Pinocchio Village House in Fantasyland, you'll be able to spot a little stained glass window with a picture of the blue fairy, surrounded by a super sweet quote saying you deserve to have your wish come true. You're right, Blue Fairy, we do deserve to have our wishes come true. And right next to this stained glass window, you'll find the Blue Fairy's very wish book, where you can add your own personal wish in the hopes that the Blue Fairy will put her money where her mouth is and make those wishes happen. Will they happen? Who knows? But I heard a little cricket once say that a wish upon a star might help move things along too. All right, those weird 2 a.m. questions that wake you up at night and they come seemingly from nowhere? Well, I had that with the Swan and Dolphin swan-shaped paddle boats, and I just hadn't seen them in a while, and I found myself thinking, well, where did those go? Was I just missing them every time I visited? So a couple of our reporters went digging, and sure enough, they didn't have to dig too far to find out that the Swan paddle boats are still alive and well. If you're staying as a guest at the Swan and Dolphin hotels, then you can get a 30-minute paddle boat ride on the back of a gigantic swan for free. Yep, I said what I said. This recreational activity is included with the price of your stay. So before, you could make online reservations to book your paddle boat in advance, but now all you need to do is grab a pass from the Cabana Beach Hut on site after you give them your name and hotel room number and number of riders and go board your Swan. Okay, there are some locations featured at the Disney hotels with the sole purpose of being a place to relax and unwind, maybe do a little work or reading or just take in the impressive Disney Imagineering. Take Wilderness Lodge's Hidden Train Room, for example. This room is located inside the Boulder Ridge Villas on the ground floor just off the lobby, and it's dedicated completely to Walt Disney's love of trains. Yep, we're talking about the real Walt Disney here, the Big Cheese. Now, before the Disneyland Railroad existed, there was the Carolwood Pacific Railroad, which was a small railway that Disney built in his own Los Angeles backyard. This room is named after that very railroad, which is why you'll find a lot of locomotive theming throughout it, from railways and the decor to scale models of the very train that lived at Walt's house. Not only will you learn a lot of fun history tidbits here, but there's plenty of seating for you to spread out and enjoy some quiet time around the railroad-themed fireplace. Yep. There's a fireplace. Meanwhile, over at the Riviera Resort, you can find the Voyageurs Lounge, which is outside of the lobby and just past Le Petit Cafe. This room has multiple tables with various seating arrangements, as well as plenty of outlets where you can plug in your devices. With the cafe just next door, you can grab a coffee and a pastry while you hang around here, but you absolutely don't have to buy a thing if you don't want to. The space is free for you to use, coffee purchase or not. Another cool thing about the Voyageurs Lounge, there are little pieces of Disney memorabilia featured on the shelves, displaying reproductions of items straight from the Walt Disney Archives, as well as other photos and collections to stop and admire. So you can even find one of Walt Disney's hats. And let's not forget about the Bellevue Lounge at the Boardwalk Inn. This is a bright and airy room that has plenty of seating, including an outdoor patio, and a generally serene atmosphere. A lot of people don't even know about this place. So if you want to catch up on your romance novel or doodle in a sketchbook or just hear yourself think for a minute outside of the Epcot park, here's the escape you've been looking for. Nothing fills me with serotonin quite like hearing about another baby animal being welcomed into the animal kingdom family, and that's actually been happening a lot lately. Bring on the serotonin. Recently, one of our favorite Sumatran tiger cubs, Baxo, whose name actually means meatball, made his debut on the Maharaja Jungle Trek, and he is a hoot. Let me tell you, lots of splashing and exploring and climbing and cuteness over here. And just this past December, we all got to celebrate Cora the elephant's first birthday out on Kilimanjaro safaris. December was a busy month for the animals because Disney was also able to introduce 3 new African lion siblings to Kilimanjaro safaris: Nima, Zahara, and Mashango. They're not actually cubs, but they're still young lions who will be raised up to start a new family of lions here on the savannah. And oh my goodness, let's not forget about the cotton-top tamarin babies over on Discovery Island. According to Disney's animal care experts, these little ones have been reaching new milestones, leaping, swinging, and foraging. They grow up so fast. Oh my gosh, every single point in this video is exquisite. I'm just gonna have to say that. Like, everything we're telling you about is so stinking cool. And every time I get to a new section of this video, I'm just like excited to tell you about it. All right, next up is the magic mirror. I can't believe how often Enchanted Tales with Belle is overlooked in Magic Kingdom. This experience is very cool, y'all. This Fantasyland experience starts off by taking you inside Maurice's cabin. When the pre-show begins, a mirror transforms into a glowing, growing portal, leading you into Beast's library by the power of Disney magic, or Beast magic, or, you know, the old witch's magic. Whoever's magic, it is awesome. Now, once you're in the library, you'll take your seat and listen to an interactive retelling of how Belle and the Beast met and fell in love. After the show wraps up, storytelling volunteers will also have the chance to meet Belle and take a picture with her. And often you'll get a free bookmark signed by Belle herself, whether you were in the performance or not. So not only are you potentially getting a character meet and greet opportunity, but you're also getting a full show and possibly a free souvenir. It's just super duper fun and well worth squeezing into your already packed out Magic Kingdom day. Okay, Mickey, Minnie, the rest of the Fab Five, they're always going to be around the parks somewhere, waiting to meet you and say hello. But some Disney characters are extremely rare and only come out every once in a while. So if you're trying to meet these rare characters, here's your best chance of making it happen. Now, disclaimer here, because these characters are so rare, meeting them isn't always going to be a guarantee, but visiting during these times of the year will definitely improve your chances. Rare character number 1, Gypsy from A Bug's Life. Whoa! Hi there, Gypsy. Where have you been? Now, Gypsy is a colorful circus butterfly that tends to flutter around Animal Kingdom during Earth Day or Animal Kingdom's birthday. Is that going to be the same case this year now that It's Tough to Be a Bug will be closing on March 17th, 2025 to make way for the new show Zootopia, Better Together, slated to open towards the end of the year? Yeah, we'll have to find out. But typically, Animal Kingdom does like to celebrate throughout the month of April by inviting lots of rare characters to join in on the celebrations. So I'm sure you're still going to be able to see someone or multiple someones that maybe you've never encountered in the parks before. Rare character number 2, Powerline Max. So Powerline Max has made appearances in the past during exclusive holiday events, like the Booty You Parade that happens during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, or over at Jollywood Nights that takes place at Hollywood Studios. But every now and then he pops up around Grand Avenue and Hollywood Studios, right before the gateway to Galaxy's Edge. More than likely, this will be an unscheduled character appearance, so it's all going to be up to Lady Luck whether you see him or not, but keep your eyes peeled when you're around that little Grand Avenue section because you never know who might show up. Rare characters, number 3, Jack and Sally. Okay, so this rare character appearance is more of a guarantee than others. Jack and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas grace Magic Kingdom's Town Square Theater around Halloween and Christmas during those separately ticketed holiday parties. The problem, because they are so rare, the lines for these characters get real long during the event, so it's better to either get in line for them first thing or wait till it's closer to the end of the night when the peak of the wait time starts to simmer down. Now, if you do decide to wait and meet any of these characters toward the end of the party, don't wait too long. During past holiday parties, several character queues actually closed early while the character meets were advertised to last throughout the whole night, because some of those lines were cut off an hour before the party ended because they wanted to make sure everybody who was in line would be able to see the character, and the characters have to skedaddle when that party's over. They can't wait and keep meeting people until after, for an hour after the park closes. So mainly the meet and greets that closed early were the ones with higher wait times with super high demand like Jack and Sally. It's just good to keep it in mind that if you want to see these characters, but you're planning on hitting up their lines later for possibly lower waits, you don't want to wait too long. Otherwise, you might miss out on seeing them all together. They might close off that line. Rare character number 4, the Jawas. After hours events available for everyone to purchase, as well as Moonlight Magic events available for Disney Vacation Club members only, give you the extra time in the parks after they close for everyone else to give you shorter ride lines and complimentary snacks throughout the evening. Now, you can also often meet rare characters during these events too, and at one of last year's Moonlight Madness events that we were invited to over at Hollywood Studios, my scriptwriter Bria got to meet the Jawas from Star Wars while sporting one of our DFBstore.com tees. And along with the Jawas, you could also meet Moon Girl from the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur series, deep cut there, as well as Mike, Sully, and George Sanderson. I love that guy. 2319, we got a 2319. Just kidding, George. I'd never rat you out. You just keep on wearing that sock on your back. I'm cool. We're cool. And during a past Hollywood Studios After Hours event, we got to meet characters like Duffy, Pocahontas, and Miko, and the White Rabbit too. Thankfully, he was not late for that very important date. Okay, so here's a couple more pieces of advice if you're trying to see a rare character and you can't necessarily time your visit or adjust your vacation or spend money on an extra event. I get it. Every once in a while, an unadvertised event can happen in a Disney park called a Character Palooza. Remember that little area I mentioned that Powerline Max sometimes shows up around? Over off Grand Avenue in Hollywood Studios? This is one of the places Character Paloozas might possibly happen, along with the International Gateway or American Adventure Pavilion in Epcot, though locations are always subject to change. During this random meet and greet, rarely seen characters will gather in one spot to briefly say hello to guests. Let's just say these guys are all trying to get a feel for being inside the park and interacting with folks regularly, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Anyway, you can't really pinpoint a Character Palooza, and they might not happen at all during your visit, but just stay alert when you're around these areas, because if you see a cluster of rare characters hanging around, you might have hit the jackpot. Now, are you willing to share a Disney World hidden gem with us in the comments? Let's keep the rare experiences going to help out new and returning Disney World guests who are ready to build the best vacations ever. And don't forget to pick up our free Disney World calendar guide filled with events and closures and extra tidbits that you need to know about all year round. That's over at disneyfoodblog.com/WDW calendar. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. I love this video. As always, I'm AJ from Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.